Most of what TSA takes away from travelers at the airport security checkpoint are everyday items that you probably have packed in your bag right now. In today's video, I'll be breaking down exactly what those items are and how you can avoid losing them. This first one is something that nobody seems to expect, which would be dead electronics. TSA has the authority to ask you to power on any electronic device at the checkpoint, whether it is a laptop, tablet, or phone, and if your device will not turn on, it may not be allowed through security. The concern is that a device that cannot power on could potentially be something other than what it appears to be. So before you head to the airport, make sure your laptop, tablet, and phone have enough charge to turn on if asked, or bring a portable charger so you can power them up on the spot. But be careful which portable power bank you bring, because there are a lot of rules around those too. And for a good reason, as these have been causing fires on planes, which is definitely not something you want on your flight. Number 2 is oversized power banks, and this comes down to lithium batteries. Any portable power bank that is 100 watt-hours or more is banned from both your carry-on and your checked bag entirely. So if you are not sure about yours, check the label on the back for the watt-hour rating before you pack it. Number 3 would be blades and sharp objects. This is a big category that catches a ton of travelers off guard. Any blade of any kind is prohibited in your carry-on, so souvenir knives, decorative letter openers, pocket knives, multi-tools, and even a tiny Swiss Army knife with a 1-inch blade are all getting confiscated. If you carry a pocket knife or multi-tool as part of your daily routine, take it out before you head to the airport. TSA has also started confiscating belt buckles shaped like knives or guns, along with novelty items that could be mistaken for weapons. Scissors are allowed, but only if the blades are 4 inches or shorter. Tools like screwdrivers, wrenches, and pliers are allowed only if they are 7 inches or shorter, and power tools of any kind are always banned. And if you are a wine lover, corkscrews with a blade or foil cutter are banned from carry-ons too, including most of the popular waiter's friend style. This next one is by far the most common reason that travelers lose items at the TSA checkpoint, and it all comes down to the 311 liquid restriction. The name stands for 3.4-ounce containers packed inside 1 quart-sized clear bag, with 1 bag allowed per passenger. Any liquid, cream, gel, or spray in your carry-on must be in a container 3.4 ounces or smaller, and TSA does not care how much is actually inside the bottle. If the label says 6 ounces, it is gone even if the bottle is almost empty. That means full-size shampoo, toothpaste, lotion, conditioner, and aerosol deodorants are all getting pulled. The 311 rule also applies to anything you can pour, spill, spread, or spray. And that is where it really gets people. Hummus, yogurt, peanut butter, jam, cream cheese, and guacamole all fall under that same 3.4-ounce limit. Water bottles and coffee cups are the most common version of this, with over 130 million confiscated in 2024 alone. Pack an empty, reusable bottle and fill it up after you clear security. And one more that catches people off guard is snow globes, which contain liquid and fall under the same rule. So if you are buying one as a souvenir, pack it in your checked bag. Now there is a sneaky exception. If you spread that same peanut butter on a sandwich before you reach the checkpoint, it becomes a solid food item and you can bring as much as you want. A jar of peanut butter is not allowed, but a peanut butter sandwich is totally fine. It's wild to think that over 1 million items are confiscated or lost at the TSA checkpoint every single year. And once you find out what happens to those items, I think you're going to be a little bit shocked and also probably a little bit angry. But we will get to that a little later on. Let us know down in the video comments if you have ever had an item taken away from you at the TSA checkpoint. And while you're down there, consider hitting that subscribe button as it helps more travelers find these videos, and it's also a free way to support Ollie and me, so we really appreciate it. Number 5 is cordless hair tools, and this is a recent restriction, and many travelers don't even know that it's in place. As of August 2025, TSA and the FAA banned all cordless curling irons, flat irons, and hot brushes from checked luggage because lithium batteries can overheat and catch fire in the cargo hold where nobody can get to them. You can still bring a cordless hair tool in your carry-on, but only one, and it has to have a safety cover over the heating element. If TSA finds one in your checked bag, they are pulling it out. The easiest way to avoid this entirely is to travel with a regular corded hair tool, which has no restrictions at all. Number 6 is large containers of powder, and this is one that will not necessarily get your item confiscated, but it can definitely slow you down or cost you the item entirely. Any powdered substance over 12 ounces in your carry-on, things like protein powder, creatine, large containers of coffee, or even powdered coffee creamer, gets pulled aside for extra screening. TSA will open the container and try to verify what it is, and if they cannot clear it, they will dispose of it on the spot. The safest move is to pack any large powder containers in your check bag so you don't have to worry about it. It's also a good idea to keep any powders that might be a little bit difficult to identify, like creatine, which is a odorless, flavorless, white powder, inside of their original containers. Number 7 is pepper spray and mace. And if you carry either one in your purse or bag as a safety precaution, you really need to know this. Pepper spray is completely banned from carry-on luggage with no exceptions, no matter how small the canister is, because TSA and airlines treat it as a hazardous material. TSA does technically allow one small container in your checked bag if it is 4 ounces or less with a safety mechanism, but most major airlines go further and ban pepper spray from checked bags entirely. Delta, United, American, and Southwest all prohibit it in both carry-on and checked bags, so check your airline's policy before you fly. Number 8 is marijuana, and this one confuses a lot of travelers because it is legal in many states. But marijuana is still illegal at the federal level, and the TSA operates under federal law. That means you cannot bring marijuana in your carry-on or your checked bag regardless of what your home state allows. If TSA discovers it during screening, they are required to refer the matter to law enforcement, and the consequences depend on the state you are in and the amount involved. The bottom line is that state legalization does not apply once you enter a federal security checkpoint. There's one quiet update the TSA made that most travelers have no idea about. Medical marijuana is now listed as okay to bring in both your carry-on and your checked bag. Just know this only covers medical, not recreational, and a few rules still apply. You'll go through normal screening, the officer at the checkpoint always has the final say, and the laws can differ between the state you're leaving and the one you're heading to, so bring your doctor's paperwork, keep everything in its original packaging, and check your airline's policy before you fly. The next one is firearms, and the statistics behind this one are pretty hard to believe. In 2024, TSA intercepted 6,678 firearms at checkpoints across the country, which is roughly 18 guns a day, and 94% of them were loaded. So apparently, there is a good number of us that still think it's okay to fly with a loaded gun. Can we all just agree to stop doing that, please? You definitely do not want to end up at the checkpoint with a gun, since TSA does not just take it and send you on your way. Law enforcement is called immediately, and you can face fines up to $15,000 and possibly criminal charges. If you intend to fly with a firearm, it must be in a checked bag, unloaded, in a locked, hard-sided container, and declared at check-in. Number 10 is personal items that are left behind at the TSA checkpoint. So while technically these personal items are not prohibited, they do end up with TSA all the same. Every month, travelers leave behind an estimated 100,000 personal items at security checkpoints, which adds up to over 1 million items a year. And we are not just talking about jackets and belts. Thousands of laptops, phones, tablets, and other electronics are left sitting in those gray bins every year because travelers are so focused on getting through the line that they walk away without grabbing everything. Before you walk away from the belt, do a quick count of your shoes, bag, phone, laptop, jacket, and ID. If something is missing, say something right then and there because TSA only holds lost and found items for 30 days. After that, and this is the part I mentioned at the beginning of the video, those unclaimed items do not just disappear. I previously mentioned that what happens to all of these lost and confiscated items at the TSA was probably going to shock you as well as make you a little bit angry. Here's why. Firearms and anything illegal get turned over to law enforcement on the spot, and liquids and gels are thrown away immediately. But everything else, the pocket knives, the corkscrews, the snow globes, the laptops and phones people left behind, all of it gets turned over to state surplus agencies. And TSA does not just throw that stuff away. A lot of those items are actually resold through state surplus stores or online auction sites like GovDeals and Public Surplus. We are talking about iPads sold by the dozen, jewelry sold by weight, and pocket knives sold in bulk lots to the highest bidder. The Texas State Surplus Store in Austin receives 600 to 800 pounds of surrendered items every month just from DFW Airport alone, and Pennsylvania's surplus program has been selling off TSA items for over 17 years. You can actually go online right now and buy some of these items. The thing is that anything you buy, that money is going to go back to the government and not to the travelers who lost it. So maybe that can be a little extra motivation to take a second and make sure you're not leaving anything behind at the checkpoint. We covered a lot of rules in this video, and unfortunately it gets even more confusing since new rules are coming out all the time. Before your trip, save yourself the worry and check the TSA What Can I Bring tool on tsa.gov, because it will tell you exactly whether something belongs in your carry-on, your checked bag, or neither. And if you are ever unsure about a specific item, you can use TSA's free Ask TSA service by sending a photo or product link to them on Instagram, Facebook, or X, and an agent will usually get back to you within 24 hours. And this is assuming that there is no government shutdown that is affecting the DHS or the TSA, which means those resources are not being updated or monitored. But what are the chances of that happening? Losing a laptop at the checkpoint is bad enough, but there is something else most travelers do at the airport without thinking twice that puts your personal information at risk, and that is connecting to the free airport Wi-Fi. And it is not just airports. The Wi-Fi at your hotel, the coffee shop, the cruise ship, even the resort lobby are all public networks, and anyone else on that same network with a little technical knowledge and bad intentions can potentially see what you are doing online. That can mean stolen passwords, compromised accounts, or even exposed banking details. And this is exactly where today's video partner, NordVPN, comes in. I would never connect to airport or hotel Wi-Fi without first taking 2 seconds to open the NordVPN app, tap Connect, and then use the internet as normal. Behind the scenes, NordVPN encrypts everything I do online, so emails, passwords, and travel documents stay private. It runs quietly in the background and protects up to 10 devices at the same time. I have one NordVPN account that I share with my entire family, since you can have up to 10 devices connected at the same time. Even my dad, who's in his 80s, finds no trouble turning it on, which gives my mom and I a lot of peace of mind since whatever the heck he's doing on his tablet is going to stay private. You can find the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen now to check out NordVPN for yourself, along with an exclusive discount and a money-back guarantee. So now you know what not to pack in your carry-on, but you might be wondering about the rules for your check-in luggage. I have a full video breaking down what you should never pack in a checked bag, which is a whole different list, and I will put it on the screen now and link it in the description for you to watch next. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join Ollie and me back here for more travel tips and hacks each week, and we will see you in that next video soon. Bye.